Welcome back to SF Coins channel. In this video, we're diving into the world of hidden treasures as we explore the most valuable, expensive, and ultra-rare U.S. coins. The top 4 5-cent Monticello Jefferson Nickels. United States. These incredible coins hold a shocking piece of American history, especially the silver wartime nickels that contain real silver. Some have the S mint mark, unique color shades, or appear in dirty and worn condition, yet they could still be worth thousands or even millions of dollars today. Let's get started. First up, 1. The 1972 D Jefferson nickel, minted in the United States of America, is one of those small yet mighty treasures that carry within them the pulse of a nation's history and the promise of unimaginable fortune. When you hold this 5-cent Monticello coin in your hand, especially one that's aged, darkened, or marked by time, you're holding more than metal. You're holding a relic of the 1970s, a reflection of a changing America, and possibly a key to a life-changing discovery. The story of this coin goes far beyond its face value. It's about mystery, legacy, and the unexpected power hidden in ordinary-looking pieces of history that can make you a billionaire overnight if you recognize their worth. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, designed to honor one of the most visionary leaders of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, the third president and the author of the Declaration of Independence. By the time 1972 arrived, the coin had already become an American icon, familiar in every wallet and cash register. Yet, not every 1972 nickel is the same. The ones struck at the Denver Mint, carrying the D mint mark, have fascinated collectors for decades because of subtle variations, minting errors, and rare compositions that turn them from common currency into treasures worth millions in today's market. When paired with a silver-toned surface, whether from natural toning, metal mix variations, or experimental plating, it becomes a piece of mystery wrapped in history. The obverse of this coin captures Jefferson's profile: calm, noble, and timeless. His gaze faces left, symbolizing a forward vision, while the inscription "In God We Trust" and "Liberty 1972" circle his portrait like an aura of purpose. Every curve of his face and every shadow on the coin's surface represents the craftsmanship of the era. Precision guided by pride. The D mint mark beneath the date quietly identifies it as born in Denver, the mountain mint known for its strong strikes and high circulation numbers. Yet even among millions produced, rare errors and unique metal tones set some 1972 D nickels apart, the kind of pieces that make collectors' hearts race. Flip the coin over, and you'll see Monticello, Jefferson's grand architectural masterpiece and his lifelong passion project. The building's neoclassical design stands proudly under the word E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. This design choice isn't random. It's a declaration of unity, balance, and intellect, much like Jefferson himself. Beneath the structure, you'll find Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America, inscribed in harmony. The detail on this side tells you how much the mint valued beauty and clarity. But over time, as these nickels aged and circulated, their surfaces changed. Some darkened, some took on silvery, grayish, or rainbow-like tones. These dirty or aged coins are often dismissed by ordinary people but adored by collectors, for they tell stories that polished coins cannot. Now, here's where the fascination deepens. The 1972 D Jefferson nickel is known to have some of the most intriguing minting errors and varieties in modern coinage. Some pieces were struck slightly off-center, others have double-die errors where parts of Jefferson's face or the lettering appear doubled, and a few were even minted on planchets, coin blanks, meant for other denominations, creating extremely rare mismatched metals or sizes. These rare variations, especially when combined with a silver-like luster or unusual toning, can push a coin's value from a few cents to hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars in today's market. A single discovery like this, sitting unnoticed in a coin jar or drawer, could rewrite someone's destiny overnight. The silver sticker-round appearance that some 1,972 nickels develop is another magnetic feature. This unique tone can come from years of natural oxidation or from slight differences in the metal composition used by the mint that year. While most nickels are made from a copper-nickel blend, subtle shifts in alloy mixing during production can give some coins a pale, silvery sheen. Collectors and numismatists are fascinated by this because it adds an almost ethereal glow, a symbol of time's artistry. What's even more mesmerizing is that the older, dirtier coins often have this hidden luster beneath the surface grime. When viewed under the right light, they shimmer with history. To understand the value of the 1972D nickel, you must understand that it represents more than money. It's a fragment of a nation's evolution. The early 1970s were a time of cultural change, innovation, and challenge in America. Coins from that era absorbed the essence of that moment. They passed through gas stations during the oil crisis, jangled in pockets during rock concerts, and were traded in diners, theaters, and school cafeterias. Each mark on the coin is a record of a moment lived, a hand it passed through, a story it touched. That makes every 1972D nickel not just a collectible but a storyteller. While most people overlook dirty coins, the truth is that the real treasures are often disguised by wear and dust. A 1972D nickel with unusual toning, die cracks, or double impressions could easily be mistaken for an ordinary coin. Yet under professional examination, it could reveal a minting anomaly that changes everything. Many of the world's most valuable nickels were found by accident. In old jars, attic boxes, or estate sales, by people who never imagined that something worth 5 cents could hold the power to make them millionaires. That's the spell of this coin. Its ordinary face hides extraordinary potential. And the D-Mint mark itself carries significance. The Denver Mint had a reputation for efficiency and massive production, but even the most precise machines sometimes produced imperfections, and those imperfections became legends. Some 1972D nickels have slightly misaligned dies, producing faint doubling in inscriptions, or have metal layering errors that create a shimmering, ghost-like image on the surface. These variations are what collectors hunt for like hidden treasure maps, and when one surfaces, it becomes a numismatic event worth headlines. The dirty condition of an old nickel can actually protect its originality. When untouched, the natural oxidation preserves microscopic details that polishing or cleaning would destroy. Many collectors prefer as found condition coins, raw, authentic, and true to their time. A 1972D nickel that still carries its journey's dust, scratches, and discoloration is often worth more than a shiny, cleaned one. Its surface tells the tale of 50 years of American life, of changing hands and passing generations. That's why the old saying rings true. The older the shine, the smaller the story. The older the dirt, the bigger the history. It's also worth noting that 1972 marked a symbolic moment in American coinage, the beginning of modern numismatics, where collectors started valuing not just rarity but the beauty of imperfection. The Jefferson nickel, humble and often overlooked, became the gateway for many into the world of coin collecting. Its consistent design, sturdy metal, and historical connection make it timeless. A 1972D nickel in silver sticker tone is like a time capsule, a silent witness to an era when gas was cheap, televisions were bulky, and the American dream was still made of hard work and hope. If you come across a 1972D Monticello Jefferson nickel, especially one that's old, worn, and oddly shiny, the 1943S Jefferson nickel is one of those legendary coins that sits right at the crossroads of history, mystery, and unimaginable value. Minted during one of the most turbulent times in world history, the height of World War II, this 5-cent coin is far more than a piece of metal. It's a symbol of America's strength, sacrifice, and innovation. When you hold a 1943S nickel in your hand, especially one with that distinct silver shimmer and aged, dirty condition, you're holding a fragment of wartime history. A coin born from necessity, molded by patriotism, and destined to become one of the most valuable nickels ever created by the United States Mint. In 1943, the U.S. was fully engaged in World War II, and every resource mattered, even nickel. The metal was essential for weapons, tanks, and armor plating, which meant the Mint had to improvise. To support the war effort, they removed nickel from the coin's composition and replaced it with a unique 35% silver alloy. This gave the 1943 Jefferson nickels their famous pale shine, a silvery tone that sets them apart from every other Jefferson nickel ever made. The 1943S, struck at the San Francisco Mint, carried the S Mint mark proudly above Monticello's dome on the reverse, a mark of wartime resilience and rarity. These nickels are not just coins. They are wartime survivors, each one a silent tribute to the American spirit of adaptation and endurance. When freshly minted, the 1943S nickel gleamed with a white-silver glow, almost like a $50 shrunk into 5 cents. But over decades, time has given it character. Many have darkened, some turned gray, and others carry that silver sticker round tone that collectors adore. These color transformations, born from years of oxidation, create unique patterns. No two are ever identical. It's this individuality that makes each coin so special. A dirty or aged 1943 nickel is often worth more than a polished one, because the untouched surface preserves its original wartime texture and authenticity. Every scratch and spot on it whispers of the 1940s, of ration cards, victory gardens, and families holding on to hope while their sons fought overseas. What makes the 1943 nickel so valuable today is not just its history, but the countless varieties and minting quirks that make some coins truly one-of-a-kind. The wartime metal mix was tricky to work with, and the San Francisco Mint often struggled to get perfect strikes. As a result, some coins came out with weak details, doubled inscriptions, or slight misalignments, the very flaws that now make them priceless. A perfectly preserved 1943 with a strong strike and crisp details of Jefferson's hair and Monticello's steps can sell for tens or even hundreds of thousands. But those rare error coins, where letters are doubled or metal layers are uneven, can fetch millions in the numismatic world. It's a reminder that imperfection, when touched by history, becomes art. The design of this coin carries deep symbolism. On the obverse, Jefferson's calm, confident profile stands as a portrait of leadership through crisis. The words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty 1943" arc gracefully around him, a combination of faith and freedom that defined the American soul during the war. Turn the coin over, and you're greeted by Monticello, his Virginia home, etched in elegant precision. The inscriptions "E Pluribus Unum," Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America remind us that even during chaos, America's ideals stood firm. Above Monticello, the small yet proud S Mint mark tells you where it was born. In San Francisco, the city that powered the Pacific War effort. Collectors across the world treasure the 1943 nickel because it represents a perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and historical emotion. It's the only period in U.S. coinage when nickels contain silver, making these pieces distinct from every other decade. While millions were made, very few survived in pristine form. Many were lost to melting, war circulation, or neglect. And because the silver alloy is softer than nickel, many coins wore down faster, giving the surviving high-grade examples astronomical value today. A rare full-step Monticello 1943 with its architectural detail perfectly struck, is like the holy grail of wartime coinage, a piece that could change someone's fortune in a single discovery. There's a magnetic charm to finding one of these nickels in a jar, drawer, or old box. Imagine pulling out a small, faded 5-cent piece, not realizing it could be worth more than your car, or even your home. That's the beauty of the 1943 Its unimaginable value hides behind its humble look. Many people have unknowingly spent these treasures over the years, not realizing that what looked like an ordinary dirty coin was actually a slice of silver that could make them millionaires. It's a reminder that sometimes fortune doesn't sparkle. It hides under dust and time. Even the texture of this coin tells its story. Because of the silver content, the metal reacts differently to the air, often developing a soft, powdery surface or a gentle gray mist over time. To collectors, this patina is not dirt, it's authenticity. It's the touch of history itself. When you run your fingers across a genuine 1943 nickel, you can feel its difference. Lighter, smoother, yet denser with meaning. That's why experts say, this coin doesn't just belong in a collection, it belongs in a museum. What truly makes this coin extraordinary is the contrast between its humble face value and its potential worth today. A 1943 Jefferson nickel, especially with its silver shine intact and details crisp, has been known to sell for hundreds of thousands, even crossing into the $1 million range for special aerotypes or exceptional grades. Imagine that, a coin minted during wartime, once used to buy bread or postage, now capable of rewriting someone's financial destiny overnight. It's not fantasy, it's numismatic reality, powered by rarity and history. So, if you ever come across a 1943 Jefferson nickel, especially one that glows faintly silver or looks aged with a mysterious shine, don't spend it. Don't polish it. Don't underestimate it. What looks like a simple dirty coin could be the key to wealth beyond imagination. A coin that carries the heartbeat of the 1940s, the pride of the San Francisco Mint, and the legacy of a nation that turned scarcity into strength. This coin doesn't just have value in metal. It holds the power to change your fortune overnight, to remind you that even in the smallest things, greatness lies hidden, waiting for the right eyes to see it. Next up, the 1962 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is one of those hidden American treasures that most people overlook, yet it carries within it the quiet power to change a life overnight. At first glance, it looks like just another ordinary 5-cent coin, dull, dirty, and worn from decades of circulation. But beneath that faded exterior lies a mysterious glimmer, a faint silver-like sticker shine, that captures collectors' attention instantly. The 1962 nickel tells a story of precision, change, and rarity. A story forged in the heart of the Philadelphia Mint during a time when America was dreaming bigger than ever before. It's not just a coin. It's a small round piece of American history that has become one of the most sought-after and valuable nickels among passionate collectors today. In 1962, America stood at the dawn of a new era. The space age, a time of hope, ambition, and invention. While the country's eyes were on the stars, the U.S. Mint was quietly refining its craft here on Earth. The Jefferson nickel had already become an American icon, first introduced in 1938 to honor the nation's third president, Thomas Jefferson. By 1962, the Mint had perfected the art of striking his noble portrait in crisp detail, with his calm gaze facing forward and the word Liberty etched beside him like a signature of the American spirit. But what few people know is that certain 1962 nickels, especially those with no mint mark, meaning they were struck in Philadelphia, carry microscopic variations, subtle metal mixtures, and rare minting errors that make them worth millions today in the world of rare coins. These no-mint mark nickels have an aura of mystery. While millions were struck, only a handful survived with exceptional details, deep strikes, and a unique silvery tone that collectors now call the silver sticker look. Though officially made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, some 1962 nickels appear to have an unusual surface. A mirror-like silver glow caused by minting pressure, metal flow, and time's natural patina. Under the right light, this coin gleams not like nickel but like silver, a quality that has become a visual signature of the ultra-rare specimens. And those that have aged naturally with dirt, dust, and decades of handling have developed a haunting beauty, the kind of dirty silver shine that whispers of authenticity and hidden fortune. What makes the 1962 Jefferson nickel truly valuable, though, is its rarity in perfection. Philadelphia nickels were struck in huge numbers, but the minting technology of the early 1960s often produced soft strikes, faint details in Jefferson's hair or Monticello's steps. Finding one that shows full, sharp details, especially those full steps on Monticello's staircase, is like finding a needle in a haystack. These are the coins that command jaw-dropping prices, not because of their age alone, but because of their rarity and quality. A 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel with flawless luster, unbroken steps, and a mirror-like shine has sold for tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in certain cases, rare varieties with striking errors or die clashes have reached million-dollar valuations at private auctions. The design of the coin itself tells a story of quiet strength. On the obverse, Jefferson's face appears noble, steady, and wise, the embodiment of democracy's ideals. The inscription, "In God We Trust," curves around his image, anchoring the design in faith and national pride. Flip the coin, and you're greeted by the graceful architecture of Monticello, Jefferson's beloved home. Its clean lines and classic symmetry stand for vision and intellect, the very values that guided America through centuries of change. The absence of a mint mark below the building tells you this coin was born in the historic Philadelphia Mint, the oldest in the nation, where some of the most valuable coins in history were created. But not all 1962 nickels are alike. Some were struck on planchets, blank coin discs, with slightly different metal compositions, creating coins that appear brighter, heavier, or even oddly toned. Others have doubling on letters like Liberty or Monticello, giving them a ghostly shadow effect that collectors prize. A few even have die cracks, small raised lines caused by aging mint dies, which look like lightning bolts flashing across Jefferson's face or Monticello's dome. Each of these small flaws makes the coin more unique, more mysterious, and more valuable. It's not just a coin anymore, it becomes a work of art forged by accident, a masterpiece born from imperfection. And then there's the emotional value that drives its allure. Every 1962 nickel has lived through decades of history. Through wars, revolutions, moon landings, and modern technology. Think about it. This same coin may have been in the pocket of a soldier, a student, or a factory worker in the early 1960s. It may have traveled across generations, surviving recessions, market crashes, and countless exchanges, only to end up resting quietly in someone's old drawer or coin jar, waiting to be rediscovered. The moment you realize that this dull, dirty piece of metal could be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a fortune, your heartbeat changes. That's the magic of coin collecting. The thrill of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Collectors around the world now hunt for the 1962 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel, hoping to uncover one of those unimaginably valuable examples that lie hidden in plain sight. Experts believe that fewer than a few dozen high-grade, error-free, silver-toned examples exist, and each one could be worth millions. That's why this coin has earned a near-mythical reputation. A common face hiding uncommon fortune. And those found in dirty or naturally aged condition often hold more power in the eyes of seasoned numismatists, because they haven't been cleaned or tampered with. They carry their history proudly, layer by layer. The 1963 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark is more than just a small piece of metal. It's a hidden gem of American history, a silent witness to an era when the world was on the edge of transformation. Forged at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest and most iconic in the United States, this coin carries a quiet power that many overlook. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary 5-cent piece, maybe dull, dirty, and aged from decades of circulation. But if you look closely, especially at one with a silver-like shine or stick-around glow, you'll feel its mystery. It's the kind of coin that numismatists whisper about, the kind that has stunned collectors at auctions by fetching unbelievable sums, sometimes worth millions, all because of rare variations, perfect strikes, or hidden minting errors. When this coin was minted in 1963, America stood between two worlds, the fading golden age of post-war prosperity and the dawn of the modern technological era. Every Jefferson nickel struck that year reflected the values of a nation in motion: progress, innovation, and freedom. The obverse, showing the proud profile of Thomas Jefferson, carries with it the calm dignity of leadership, the kind that helped shape the American dream. The inscription, "In God We Trust," and the word "liberty" remind us of a nation's faith and the timeless pursuit of freedom. On the reverse stands Monticello, Jefferson's architectural masterpiece, a symbol of intellect and vision. And right there, below its elegant dome, the absence of a mint mark tells a powerful truth. This coin was born in Philadelphia, the city where American money itself was first created. The 1963 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel stands apart not just for its design, but for its rare, almost magical imperfections. Some were struck on metal planchets that had subtle differences in composition, a touch more nickel, a touch less copper, giving them a unique silver-toned glow. Over the decades, those coins developed what collectors call a silver sticker finish, an appearance that makes them look more like rare silver pieces than ordinary nickels. Combine that with natural aging, grime, and oxidation, what you might call a dirty condition, and you have a coin that tells a story of survival. To a trained collector's eye, that patina isn't dirt. It's proof of authenticity, a mark of time that only the rarest coins carry gracefully. The secret to its immense value lies in the fine details, what collectors call full steps on Monticello's staircase. In most 1963 nickels, those steps are faint or worn out because of weak strikes. But when a coin survives with sharp, unbroken steps, perfect edges, and a deep mirror-like luster, it becomes something extraordinary. These are the coins that have sold for astronomical amounts, sometimes crossing into 6 or even 7 figures. Some examples even carry unique die clashes or doubling errors, where parts of the design are faintly repeated, creating a ghostly, one-of-a-kind image that drives collectors wild. But there's another layer to the magic: the story behind the coin's era. In 1963, silver was still a symbol of wealth and purity, and though nickels weren't made of silver, many took on that silver-like shine that mirrored America's spirit of progress. Every coin struck that year represented the steady rhythm of a confident nation. Yet, fate would soon change. The following years brought the removal of silver from U.S. coinage, making pre-1965 coins, including the 1963 Jefferson nickel, a nostalgic reminder of a time when craftsmanship and beauty defined American money. This connection to history has turned every surviving 1963 nickel into a miniature time capsule, carrying the hopes, struggles, and craftsmanship of an entire generation. Now imagine finding one today, maybe in an old jar, a forgotten drawer, or tucked away in a grandparent's box of keepsakes. It looks old, perhaps coated in a thin layer of dirt, but when the light hits it just right, you see that subtle silver gleam. That's when your heart skips a beat, because you realize you might be holding something truly special. Some 1963 Jefferson Nickels with no mint mark have been known to fetch millions in the private collector's market, particularly when their surfaces remain original and uncleaned. The dirt and tone that seem like flaws are actually part of the coin's proof of authenticity, a natural fingerprint that makes it unique. What makes this coin even more fascinating is how its value is both physical and emotional. On the surface, it's a 5-cent coin, small, simple, unassuming. But within that small circle lies the legacy of Jefferson himself, a man whose ideas helped shape the very nation that created it. Holding it connects you to history, to the hands that once spent it, the pockets it passed through, the generations it silently witnessed. It's not just metal, it's memory. That's why collectors speak of these coins with reverence, because they embody both rarity and story. So, if you ever come across a 1963 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark, especially one with that silver sticker glow and aged character, handle it like treasure. Don't polish it, don't trade it for a few cents, and definitely don't underestimate it. That simple, dirty nickel could be worth a fortune, not just because of its rarity, but because it holds within it the power of history and the luck of discovery. It's one of those coins that can turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight, a perfect reminder that sometimes the smallest things in life carry the biggest rewards.